every single person's manifesting at all times. That job, that house you have, the money you have, all of that has, or you've already created through your mindset and through your vibration within this. Whatever we believe we can have, we have. So it's the word believe again here. If you believe you can't have something, then you're not going to attract that to you.
This is Find Joy with Joyan Season 2, where joy gets stronger, our community gets bigger, and together we become better versions of ourselves in a world full of limitless possibilities. I'm your host, Joyan Chan. And every Wednesday, we bring you inspiring stories that will light up your soul, powerful message that will make you go wow, and fun conversations that will crack you up. With me and my special guests and friends, it is my personal mission to empower you to live and lead a life with joy. If you are new here, this podcast is for you if you are looking for more joy, courage, passion, and purpose in your life. We dive deep into mindset mastery, spirituality, love and relationship matters, and how to manifest more success and abundance in all aspects of your life, however that looks. This podcast has got your back every step of the way. Now, without further ado, get ready to laugh, learn, and live your life to the fullest. Joining us today is a world-renowned spiritual leader, teacher, medium, intuitive, and master energy healer. She helps everyone heal and manifest their best life, and that includes your pets and animals. She's also the author of the book Manifest Anything in 30 Days and has a podcast called The Vickie Miller Show. She's here today to open you up to your magical powers within to live a magical and abundant life. So guys, help me welcoming the one and only Vickie Miller. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. So good to be here.
It is a gift to have you on our show today. Now, the first question, I'm sure is a question that you have answered a million times, if not more, is how did you discover your own gift as a healer, as a medium, also as an intuitive?
Yeah. So, my gift started when I was 5, and I've actually pushed them away for many years. I was 5 and I was raised in a very religious upbringing in actually Ohio, United States. And I started seeing spirits and I started seeing auras, and I started even feeling the same things pets would feel in my body or people would. And, I thought it was normal until my mom told me it wasn't. I thought that everybody could do everything I could see. And that's where I just started having premonitions. I was about 16. I had a premonition, my father dying, and unfortunately he did die. And I started really having all these, I could just know things and feel things and know what was coming up. And then fast forward, I started getting messages for random people and I started resisting. So if I was in an airport, I would, because I'm a medium, so I would hear to tell this person something, and I wouldn't, I was resistant, and I would actually get a push in my back if I didn't tell them. And so I started telling them, and everyone was like, oh my God, how did you know this? And it just escalated from there, that I started believing in myself more and started realizing that, I had a gift and it wasn't anything that to fear. It took me a couple years though. And then I was in my 20s and I started, I have 5 kids, and I channeled them before they came in. And I was actually told I couldn't have kids. And I channeled each child before they came in, and I even see babies before they come in, and they'll talk to me. And just by a picture of a person or a pet, I can tap into the energy and tell you everything, their past, present, future. And pretty much just it started evolving. So I've been doing it now for over 20 years professionally.
I have just been mind blown by every single thing you said. How is it even possible that you could, I'm of course it's possible, right? But I'm just thinking like, how is it even possible for someone to predict the future? Why do you think you are able to predict the future?
Well, everything's energy, right? And so when you tap into that frequency, and I actually teach this, I have a school called Magical University where I teach everything I do, my mediumship, my energy healings, because we're all intuitive. The first time you meet somebody, you already are reading their energy, whether you know it or not. You're like, oh, this person's nice, or this person I can trust or I can't trust. So you're already reading energy. Every single person's intuitive. Mine just happens to be on a different level that I can tap into the frequency of the future as, what's coming up. In your life, because really every single person is creating their life. This is where the manifesting comes in. We're all creating our life from our past actions, our past thoughts, and our past frequency. So when I tap into the person, is what I'm feeling is what they've already set into motion, and what I see that, moving forward into the future. And, when it comes to, I'm also a health intuitive. So I can scan the body because everything's energy. So I can see where the energy blocks are, what's, happening, whether it's in a pet or a person. And, when it comes to future events, we all have free will. So when I see things, you've already started that process on bringing it to you because through manifestation. So I'm really just validating when I tune in that frequency, because everything's a frequency and everything's an energy. And so that's how I can tap in. And, global events, I've been predicting globally for over 20 years on what's coming up through, weather and financial, because finances and every single thing is energy. A business is energy. Finances are energy. And so I can see that energy and read that energy and pretty much translate it and see where it's going. That's how the future predictions are.
So yeah, before our recording, you mentioned that you already talk about this, right? You could predict the future. And so I'm curious to find out what is coming up for us, all of us, right? I'm talking about globally, right? In 2024, because as we just entered a brand new year, we are recording this on 16th of January, right? So what is coming up this year?
Well, it's just an exciting time to be on Earth. I have to say that. There's just so much change that's going to happen so fast because the frequency of the whole entire universe has shifted so much that old paradigms and structures are going to be falling down like crazy. So the old structures of government, of school systems, money, all of that. And it's really outdated because if you think of it, the school system, and I'm talking United States, but this is also pretty much globally. The school system's outdated. And the kids now that are being born are such a higher energy. They're more intuitive that they can't learn the same way they could before. So all of the systems are going to be clearing out and already have. Actually, 2023 was the time of breakdown of systems. And I see that continuing to happen, but things are going to start building up. Technology is going to go like crazy this year. As we already know, the robots that are out there and the implants, and they're looking at all that. So we are going to continue to see this evolvement, but it's going to be quantum leaping. It's going to be really fast. One of the things that how the world was before, we had pretty much like a curtain in between the earth and the heavens and the universe, and this curtain's gone. And so that means everything manifests and boomerangs right back to you. So you send out an energy, you send out a frequency, and boom, it comes right back, where before it might have taken a year, 2 years, 10 years. Now it's going to be just instantly. This is what's called quantum leaping. And so we're going to continue to see this shifting of energy worldwide, and some of this is actually biblical too, as we look into Israel and what's going on there too, war-wise. I do feel that's going to intensify. And moving forward, we're just going to see so many different new things. We're going to see digital money. They've been trying to take away cash for a long time and trying to come to a one world coin. I do feel that there will be digital money, and there already is digital money, but they're going to start taking away the cash and moving into a new system, through the money system, and stocks and anything that you've been doing in the past is not going to work in 2024. So this is also, if you've had a business and like the big shopping malls and all of those are actually falling away. I mean, look at online. We can get anything online. That's only going to be continuing to grow. So you want to think of anything technology and computer wise. Even I see new ways of travel. I see planes going really fast. I do feel 2024, they will be putting out new ways of traveling. And also at the same time, trying to censorship too, globally, coming to a one world unit, coming together and trying to connect, all of our our whole globally together through one world coin. I don't think that's going to happen, but I feel they're going to try, and we're going to see more of that. The other cool thing going on right now is, we look up and now they're emitting to UFOs. They're emitting to all of these things that they've been seeing. So look up into the skies, because we're going to continue to see this, all the aliens, the UFOs. People are going to start seeing more of that, and the energy of animals. Weather's going to be crazy this year, because the earth is opening up and releasing, with everything energy. Everything's always clearing, shifting, moving things, and this is going to be the year I see a lot of flooding happening actually worldwide. It's already happened here in the United States. We're having a lot of weather issues right now. And the volcanoes, the eruptions. Look at the Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire goes up California all the way over to Asia. That's going to be the hot spot. I see that being the hot spot of a lot of earthquakes, tsunamis, water, a lot of water rising in so many places, and major cities. So I'm telling people, major cities, if you live in a major city, just be prepared, have enough food, have some stuff, because this weather that's coming up could knock out power for, it could knock out power for 2 to 3 weeks. And then as far as the flooding, I see a lot of flooding that's going to happen worldwide. It's already started, but it's going to be a lot more tense in 2024, because the earth is clearing out. But it's an awesome time to manifest, because anytime there's a whole bunch of energy going on worldwide, like right now, there's so much energy. This is the time that's creating energy. So if you put out your intentions, and really focus on the vibration and tune into that frequency of your intentions, then they're going to, at least, seriously, quantum leap. Like, they could happen that day. A lot of just magic coming into your life, synchronicity coming into your life, if you rise above. And now we're also in the energy of, before we could be kind of middle. We could have some good days, we could have some bad days, we could be positive, we could be negative. Now it's really going to reflect, the universe is going to listen and to all of your feelings. So if you are in a yucky day, I would recommend start changing that attitude, changing that energy, because boom, you're going to get it right back into your life, where before we could kind of like leave it. Now it's going to happen instantly.
Yeah, I've been learning about manifestation for so long, and then I've been trying to manifest and trying to learn more about law of attraction, even interview a bunch of guests on our show, so I can ask them questions, right? And so what do we really need to do based on what is just shared about the future predictions about this year, what's happening globally, right? That shift of energy. Some people, they might take it in a bad way, right? And they might start to develop fear, right? Because, talking about weather, flooding, tsunami. So what do we need to know, and what do we need to do about it to tap into and adapt this whole new shift, change and energy shift?
So the cool thing about the energy is we are coming to an awakening. So 2024 is actually an abundant year. Its numerology is an 8. It's an abundance. I see a lot of expansion, and it's awakening, and it's the truth. So awakening means your intuition is going to kick on, whether you want it or not. It's going to be there. So listen to your intuition. And if your intuition tells you to do something, do it. If it tells you to go somewhere, go there. And really, this is the year to grow your intuition. Learn how to work with your intuition, to grow it, to expand it. Your higher self is always 100% accurate. It's when our brain comes in and then we start questioning things that screws it up. But our intuition is on. So this year, I would tell you tremendously, just like, work with growing your intuition. And one of the ways is working with your intuition is validation, because anytime you start validating yourself, because we all have the self-doubt that comes on, but the more you start listening to it and validating it, the more it'll start to grow, because you trust it and trust yourself. That's the other word I keep hearing this year, is believe. You got to believe in yourself. When it comes to manifesting this year, is you got to tune into your feelings. Everything comes back to you. So what frequency are you putting out into the world? If you wake up cranky, go back to bed and until you're not cranky. Being aware of what frequency and what energy, and even maybe starting your morning out that of what energy am I sending out today? Because that energy you're going to be attracting instantly back into your life. The fear aspect, yes, fear, get into power. So even though even though I said there's going to be all kinds of weather and there's going to be stuff, there's been weather from the beginning of time. There's been stuff that's happened from the beginning of time, war, all of that stuff's been happening from the beginning of time. So it's, instead of going into the fear of aspect, just be prepared, just be prepared and have that food, have that stuff, and then listen to your intuition. If your intuition tells you to do something, then all you have to do is listen to it. If it tells you to, go somewhere or don't go somewhere, you're getting ready to travel and you're like, oh, okay, believe in yourself, listen to yourself. And biggest thing is just trust in the universe that you're protected, you're okay, and do whatever that makes you feel safe. Everybody wants to feel safe. That's what all we want. We want to feel safe financially. We want to feel safe in a relationship, in a job, everything. So do those things that make you feel safe, because when you feel safe, you're nice and grounded, and then you're actually sending out power.
And you have a book, How to Manifest Anything in 30 Days. So, and you talk about quantum leap is going to be happening this year, right? You think about something, you get it like right away. Let's say, because I talk to many other people and, it's all over social media, TikTok, Instagram, right? The 3 steps to manifest something, or you even have a book, Manifest Anything in 30 Days. So how can we take 30 days of manifestation techniques and work into one day, like string it down into one day and just manifest something that we want in a day?
Yeah. So when it comes to my whole premises is my book, which you'll be, when people read it, they're like, oh, this is all about me. You got to know that you are always manifesting. People come across and they're like, oh, I'm a good manifester. Well, every single person's manifesting at all times. That job, that house you have, the money you have, all of that you've already created through your mindset and through your vibration within this. Whatever we believe we can have, we have. So it's the word believe again here. If you believe you can't have something, then you're not going to attract that to you. So everything this year, the more you work on yourself, the more you raise your vibration. Frequency is the way of the new world. It's the way of healing. It's the way of tuning into that frequency. And so the more you become that thing. So number one thing is, in anything in your life, if you say, hey, I want this, you're in the energy of want. So you're going to keep pushing it away. So instead of saying, I want this, you're going to be in the energy as though you already have it. If you're wanting more money, let's say, because that's always the thing that everybody wants is more money. You have to, first of all, change your mindset around the money. If you keep believing that, if you keep asking, how much is this? Can I afford this? And if you're around people that keep mirroring to you that are fearful of money or don't have a lot of money, and they keep reminding you like, oh, that's so much money and you can't afford this, I can't afford that. And you keep hearing this in the back of your head with those people, then most likely it's going to go into your subconscious mind. So the number one thing to do always in the very beginning of everything is you got to pluck those cords. You got to cut those cords to any toxic energy that is holding you back. So you have to get change. In order to change in your life, you got to change your habits, your frequencies around you to get change. So, looking at and seeing what is the detoxing, just detoxing negativity is going to shift your frequency so fast that you'll be like, oh my God, I feel so good. So the toxicity is social media or news or whatever that is fearful. If you look at it and you hear things that says, hey, look at the news. The news is all about tons of negative energy. It has all about today, so-and-so was murdered and da, 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 da. And you're just like, oh my God, like it's negative energy. And you also got to realize that everything coming into your home's environment has energy imprints. So even if you leave your home, you come back in, those energy imprints, you're clinging right back into you. They're on everything. So it's being aware of that, of what are you listening to? What are you seeing? Who are you hanging out with? What are the places that, make you feel smaller or toxic? And just by clearing out that and going to the places that make you feel enlightened and expanded, because this is the expanded year. So go to places that light up your heart, be in the places that make you feel expanded. That's all you have to do. And it's really that simple. And people don't think it's that simple. They think they have to take the action to do it, like literally action. It's not, it's changing your frequency. So just reminding yourself every day, like, am I in the frequency to match what it is I want? If you're wanting more money, am I in that abundance frequency? Abundance frequency means I'm not worried about money, means I can go shop and do whatever I want. I can be in that energy of feeling that abundance within. So it's embodying that energy. It means I don't want it. I have, and taking on ownership as though you already have it, and even writing it out. I love writing things out because then it really, I am and I have, as though you already have it. Because when you write it out, you're stating to the universe, look what I have. And you got to think of the universe has ears, and whatever you're saying, you're going to get. So you also got to look at your stories. What stories are you telling people? And you got to let go of those stories. That's also the part about depugging from, negative stories. Are you telling stories to people of victimhood and you don't have, and, you're not good enough, or you're holding on to the past, or you're holding on to that anger? All of that stuff is just poisoning your body. So you got to release all that, changing you. So it's changing your stories, changing your frequency. But just by depugging and cutting out, detoxing all of those negative things in your life, you're really going to change.
How do we change that? Like, I mean, it's so hard to change. Trust me, I tried before, right? And I know you're a master energy healer, so I suppose, and I assume this is one of the modalities that you use to help people, go to the root cause and really figure out what is the issue and then help them heal so that they can really create an abundant life. So how can people work with energy to heal and even, I would say, create a new belief and, overcome a limiting belief and create a new set of beliefs?
Yeah, that's a biggie. So sometimes, just like a massage, you got to go to a professional to help you out and make you feel good, right? So yeah, I've been an energy healer for over 20 years, and I work with them actually energetically. I bring the person energetically, and I go in their energy field just by name, like I told you before. I can go in there. So yes, energy cord cuttings are huge. So we have energy cords to people, to our past, even to our past lives. So you could have had a past life. Most of us have had a past life. I mean, we've had thousands of past lives, but we could have had a past life where we were a slave, or we had, really poor. So we kept that mentality, we kept that energy imprint somewhere subconsciously within us from that past life. So that definitely could be holding you back. And, because you keep on going back to that. So energy cord cuttings cut the energy, and they clear out those energy to all those different people, situations, anything of your past life, this life now, that you're corded to, that will help you really rise above. So energy cord cuttings, energy healings, anytime you do any kind of healing, body, mind, or soul, you're definitely going to elevate, your energy in all ways. And sometimes you do need that professional, especially if you're new to the energy world. And if you've never had an energy healing or an anything energy, you definitely need an energy clearing, because the energy clearing will clear out all of that toxic energy, everything that you've been accumulating for so many years. And not only will you feel better, when I've done my energy healings, illness has disappeared, allergies disappear, cancers even disappeared. All of everything's energy. So when you clear out those lower cells, everything's going to open up for you. And then, of course, you're going to manifest even easier, because now you're at a different frequency and you've let go of all those toxic cords and cells.
Right. So how long does it typically take, I would say, for someone to truly heal and truly unlock their powers within and to create anything we want? Like, is there a timeline, or is
So,
that how does that
yeah, it's
yeah.
a whole life process. But the cool thing is, we're like an onion. So you take off a layer, and then you got to go deeper, and then you take off a layer, and you got to go deeper. I've been an energy healer for over 20 years professionally, and been working on my own stuff. And I keep elevating more and more and more, even on my own stuff. And because we also have inner child, there's so much complexity to energy. Inner child healing is huge. Mom and dad stuff, we all have mom and dad stuff, whether our mom and dad was wonderful, it doesn't matter. We have this inner child that we need to heal. So for a while you'll get one layer cleared out, and then another layer will come in, and it's a lifelong process. But you can, right now is really cool because 2024, I can go right in there and get to the core, because karma is clearing and ancestral healing is happening too. So no longer do we have to take on the baggage energetically of our ancestors or karma. So that's why this year is really a restart. So you could do actually one healing, and you're going to evolve so fast that you're going to go to this higher level, and boom, things start happening in your life. But if you keep working on your energy and you keep growing, healing, just like anything, you should never stop growing. You should never stop knowledge. You should never stop trying to expand your intuition. You should never stop, because you only keep shifting to a higher and higher and higher enlightenment, into a higher energy.
Right. So how does is manifestation the same as law of attraction?
Yeah, I think they're just really different words. Manifesting is, like I said, everybody's manifesting. Manifesting is bringing something into reality and actually experiencing it. You're in it, you manifested it, it came into your reality. So we are always manifesting. We could be manifesting a wonderful life, we could be manifesting not so wonderful life. Look at your stories that you've been telling people, and you will see that you have manifested everything. If you're telling the story of how hard life is, how much stress it is, how you have to work really hard to get more money, to get the bonuses, then that's going to be the reflection, and that's what you're going to create and bring to you. But if you tell the story of wow, and you're in the energy of gratitude instantly will shift your frequency. Wow, look at this, I got to wake up today in my beautiful home, I have food on my plate and the earth, and look at the beauty here, and you're in that story, then everything is just going to flow for you. More and more and more abundance is going to come in. So yeah, it's manifesting coming in. It's the law of attraction, because the law of attraction is what you're putting out there, you get back.
Right. So going back to what you said earlier, you mentioned everyone wants more money, but also most people want healthier, to live a healthier life, and if they are single, they want to manifest a relationship or love or things like that, right? So, and you mentioned the art of manifestation is all about believing that that has already happened, right? You already have the thing that you want. This is a question that I always ask, is how do we feel and get really like tap into the feeling of having what we want? Maybe let's say, for a simple example is money, right? Let's say, how do I manifest more money? When I look at my bank account, it's only like, I don't know, 2 digit. You mentioned about, I can go to the malls, I can buy anything I want, I can eat at a fine dining restaurant, but when I don't really have the money, how do I feel like I have?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it's being in the energy of, so let's say you're wanting more money. And number one thing too is, the more you focus on something, you're pushing it away. So you're like, hey, universe, I would love, and starting this with the energy, I would love to experience more abundance, more prosperity today. I would love that. Okay. So once you just state it, now you're going to feel it. What does it feel like? So sit there for 5 minutes and just feel how great it feels. Visualize, imagine you're doing exactly, what do you want that money on? Do you want a bigger house? Whatever it is you're wanting it. Okay. So be visualizing it. Start doing it. So let's say you're wanting a bigger house. Start shopping for a bigger house. You don't have to have the money for it, but you're starting taking the action as though you already have it. You want that new car. Go test drive that car. When you're test driving that car, oh my God, my car, and start taking ownership. You want that Mercedes or Lamborghini or whatever it is, you're in it and you're like, this car is amazing. This is my car. And see it, visualize it in your driveway. Now, the next step is, when you have something, you no longer think about it, right? You got that new car, it's sitting in your driveway. You no longer think about it because you already have it. This is one of the steps I think is the hardest thing for most people, is putting it out there and then letting it go, because the letting it go so it can come into you. Everybody knows how we have just mined something forever. We thought about it, we wanted it, we like a situation, a problem, whatever it is, and like we just think about it so much, and then the minute we let it go, it resolves itself. And it's like, I'm not even thinking about that. And then that just happened. It came to me. So this is what happens is when you change your attention and direction of energy, you're actually telling the universe, I already have this. So you don't want to keep on going to your bank account, because every time you go to your bank account, you're going to be reminded, oh, I don't have money. This is the same thing I say about a scale, a weight scale. I tell people, do not have a weight scale, because every time you get on there, you're going to beat yourself up. You're not at the weight you want. You're going to hold this scale reliable to you being healthy and feeling good, which is horrible. So the same thing with your bank account. You don't look at your bank account. Start seeing what you want, visualizing what you want, and focusing on something else. This way, the universe will bring it to you and it will be delivered. So ask and then look the other way. Do something else. Get busy. We all know how busy, if we're super busy, we have no time to think. The more you cannot think, the more you're actually in the energy of owning and having it.
Right. And so you mentioned about quantum leap, right? So if we want to quantum leap and manifest something like fast, within 24 hours, are the steps the same or totally different?
Yeah, the more time that you can, the cool thing about this world right now is we are in the energy of frequency. So the more you can really visualize that you are attracting, you got to think of every time you imagine, you go into that daydreaming state and you just give yourself 5 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is, you are up leveling your frequency and you're calling it in. And so when you're doing this and you're seeing it and feeling it, and being in the energy of it, that is actually manifesting so fast for you. And the energy of gratitude. Biggest thing is gratitude. We always want and get to the core of, why do I want this? I think that's a biggie, especially when it comes to more money. I have billionaires as my clients. They still want more money. So everybody wants more money, but it's really not the money I think they want. It's the feeling safe again, feeling safe. Like, what if I did lose my money? Am I going to feel safe of having the other money? So once you turn the energy to, why do I want this? You're going to get to the core of what you really need or what you really want. And then that is the frequency that you'll start bringing in.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting that you mentioned billionaires, they still want more money. And I mean, that is really interesting to hear, isn't it? And people who have all the money in the world and they are still miserable and
They still want more money.
Right.
I have a lot of billionaires as my clients.
And
Everybody wants more money.
yeah, it's really interesting. Something I heard today. I was listening to a podcast and that person says, money doesn't buy happiness, but happiness brings money. And I thought for a while, I thought it was so true, right? The more happy,
Yes.
yeah, the more happy, the joy, you feel within yourself, right? In your life, the more abundance you create and attract. I thought, wow.
Because you're in the frequency of abundance. So when you're happy, that's why I said, do things you love. And that also is a lot, hard, I think, for a lot of people, because we're taught so different. We were taught, like, you got to work hard. You can't go have fun. We're taught different. But really, it's the opposite. If you feel amazing, if you're doing the things that you love, creativity, I'm a painter, artist, like painting, whatever your creative source is, maybe it's dancing, maybe it's singing, you are going to up your frequency when you're doing that. And that's when the abundance will come in, because you're not even concentrating on it, right? You're in this energy of joy. And when you're in the energy of joy, that's when everything just magically drops into your lap.
Yeah. So what is one thing you want my listeners to do, like after, they've been listening to this podcast, to this episode for the past 35 minutes, I would say. And what is one thing you want them to do right away after this episode comes to an end?
Get happy, go dance, celebrate, be in the energy as though you are living the life that you love, and everything will shift for you. Get out of, the stress, the forgive too. I just heard that too. Forgive. You got to let go of the past. You got to forgive yourself, forgive others. That right there will shift your frequency big, because if you're holding on to the past, you're holding on to anger, you're holding on to this lower feelings, then you're only going to keep yourself back.
Right. So you mentioned you just hear something. So is that how you receive all your information, including the predictions for the future, or when you're working with someone, is that how you receive your answers?
Yeah, so I'm always channeling. Sometimes it's too much. So I'm always channeling. I always am hearing, seeing, sensing. guides, my higher self, pretty much everything. Me being a medium, I could even be walking down the street and see people from the other side, dead people walking by. Yeah, so I'm always turned on, sometimes too much, because I'll even feel things in my body. I'll start coughing if somebody around me is sick, and I'm tapping in their energy and I'm bringing it into my energy. That's one of the ways I heal, but I'm always channeling. I'm always hearing, seeing, sensing.
So are you able to predict your own present and future? Like your own?
Yeah.
Like, you can?
Yeah, sometimes it's everything. Yeah, I knew with my kids and my own life, and I just recently moved from California to Florida. I knew that was coming up. I actually, because in 2019 I predicted COVID, so I knew all this stuff was going to come up in California. And yeah, I see my own stuff. Sometimes it's kind of irritating because I'll see something like 2, 3 years down the road, and I'm like, all right, I really don't want to know that right now. But yeah, I see everything myself, and I tap in, and I walk my talk. So I every morning I will meditate, connect to my higher self, really be there. But I'm also human. I go have fun and do all those things.
Right. Well, that's it. I wouldn't know how would I feel if I could see my own future like in front of my own eyes and know exactly what's going to happen. So can we change our future? Or you mentioned in the beginning, right? We all have free wills, but can we truly change our future if something is going to happen?
Yes and no. Like, so when I see babies, so I'll see babies before they come in, and we're around a person. And so if babies are coming in, they're coming in. So I'll be like, oh, you're going to have a kid here. And I see the kids talking to me. So the kids, if you're going to get pregnant, it's going to come in, the baby's going to come in. When it comes to things, you always have free will. So yes, you always can shift things and change things. I believe we have many different pathways, and it's up to you. Like, you can definitely shift it. But when it comes to, let's say I say, oh yeah, I see this person coming into your life, and I'll even know what they look like and everything, and then they'll meet the person. Most likely that's still going to happen because they've already worked on manifesting it before. But we always have free will. We always can say, yeah, no, I think I'm going to do this over here, and I'm going to attract this now. We always, all of us have free will, for sure.
Right. But I believe, I'm sure you believe, or eventually we'll end out, we'll end up where we need to be, right? And we'll meet the right person at the right time. That's what I believe. Oh, I choose to believe. And is there anything else that you really want to talk about? Perhaps I didn't ask you, didn't let you.
Yeah, just with everyone, I believe even right now, 2024, there's going to be so much. It's going to be like this clearing storm coming around the whole world. So we're going to see everything clearing out, the paradigms, the structures, a lot of change. So in other words, it's going to be like, whoa, new rules, new laws, a lot of change. And, people don't like that so fast. It just scares them. It puts them in a lot of fear, even though they kind of want change, but it puts that there. So during this whole 2024, like, just change storm coming up, if you work with yourself, you don't go into that storm, and you meditate daily, just do the soul work. The more you grow your soul this year, the more you're going to manifest amazing things in your life. So starting every day with mindfulness, with meditation, your physical body, just feeling good, doing the things you love, being wherever you feel safe, that is going to help you quantum leap so fast this year. And using this energy, like, this is the year to use the energy of abundance. So abundance is in every single way of how you feel. More money, even though they change the money, it doesn't matter, because you're going to be attracting money however it comes or however it looks like, because you're going to be sitting there. And I see this visual, if you want to see the visual of just you're sitting in the middle of the storm on this beautiful lotus flower, meditating as the storm's going around you, and it's not affecting you because you are here, grounded, safe, feeling amazing. And that's what I would tell everybody. And this is when you're going to manifest the best, is when you detach, you let go, and you really come within and quiet yourself, quiet your energy, be present. Present is going to help you so much this year. Great mantra. I am present.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Now we always end with our final 5 rapid fire questions. So these are the 5 questions. These are about you, right? These are the 5 questions that I ask all my guests at the end of the show. Are you ready for that? And oh yeah, forgot to tell you, every question has to be answered in one word or one sentence maximum.
One word. Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's do
one
it.
sentence story. I'm sure the answer will just come, right? Okay, the first question is, what is one thing you wish you knew earlier?
Oh boy. One thing. I wish I knew earlier. Um, energy.
Yeah, beautiful. Second question, if you could live your life all over again, what would you do differently?
Wow, these are great questions. I would have picked different, mom.
What?
I know it sounds horrible. I love my mom, but I wish she was more spiritual.
Right. Yeah, I could totally relate to that. I've been trying to share, I've been every time I interview a guest like you, I learn all this wisdom and insights, and I can't wait to share with my mom. And she was like, "What are you talking about?" Anyway, yeah,
I wish my mom was my friend. How's that?
yeah. Wow. I love that. Thanks for being so honest. I love it. The next question is, what is something you are trying to learn or curious about right now?
Mm, shamanism.
Wow. I love it. Okay. I mean, have you not learned shamanism before? No?
I do, I see dead Indians all the time and I work with Indian energy, but 2024, I keep seeing Indians. So I'm interested and intrigued with shamanism, healing, and just everything to do with shamanism. It just intrigues me. No, I'm not a shaman because I'm not a shaman. I'm not a healer with that, but I would love that. I think the Indians are so wise and evolved. I mean, they were here from the beginning and their rituals and stuff. So I would love to be a part of that.
Wow, beautiful. Yeah, let me know once you have learned that. We can have you on the show again to talk about shamanism.
Yeah, I will definitely.
Definitely. The next question, if you have 5 minutes and the whole world is listening to you, what would you say?
5 minutes and the world's listening to me.
Yeah, what would you say?
I would say, wow, just work with the energy love. I just would say, change your life into love. Do what you love, be in love. And I sending love. I love everyone.
Yeah, we love you too. Thank you. The last question is, what brings you the greatest joy?
The universe. The universe is just magical to me. My kids, of course, are in there, but I would say both of those. I know I have to pick one. So I would say being a mom, actually, let me put that back because being a mom, I was told I couldn't have kids and I have five.
Yeah, wow, that's magical. Like, it's truly magic, right? You were told you couldn't have kids and you have 5 kids. And like nothing is impossible, guys, I'm telling you. So thank you so much for being here and sharing all your magic and being an inspiration to all of our listeners. Now, tell my listeners where is the best place to connect with you.
Yeah, my website, Vickie, Vickie, not the normal Vickie dash like a telephone dash Miller, Miller.com, VickieMiller.com. I have YouTube channel, Facebook. The other thing too, I want to share, I have my own private social media platform called Magical You Souls, you as in you like this, souls.com too. And that's where I do a lot of my predictions and stuff because I'm not censored there. So I can do a lot of stuff there.
Okay, I love it. All right. Thank you so much again for coming. And listen, guys, I know you love this episode, and please let us know what is one thing you want to manifest this year, right? We would love to hear from you, and we would love to celebrate for you. So go follow Vickie, go to her website, buy her book. You can even book a session with her, and I will put all the links in the show note below. So make sure you go and check it out and give her a shout out. Thank her for coming to our show today. Tell her what you love most about from this episode, right? And also follow us if you haven't already on Instagram, and remember to like and subscribe so you never miss another episode coming to you every Wednesday. And I will always leave you the same way as I leave you with every other episode. Show up, the world needs you and you need you. Thanks for listening, and I wish you all
Thank you.
an
It was
amazing
great
day
being here.
ahead. Yeah, thank you
Bye.
so much. Thank you again for tuning into By Joey Joanne podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, take a screenshot and share it on your IG story and tag By Joey Joanne _podcast so I know you are listening. and leave us a positive review on Apple Podcasts if you haven't already done so. And remember to hit the subscribe button whether you are listening on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, or any of your other favorite platforms. If you love what we are doing and want to become one of our sponsors, you can send me a DM to connect. And thanks for being here. I will see you soon in the next episode.